Welcome back to part 10 of the Jurassic Park Part 2 tutorial. Right now we will be looking at the Disarm the Bombs level. Which, funnily enough, this level you actually don't need to disarm the bombs, which we'll get into. But before we actually do that, I want to talk about the ammo count that we're going to need to pay attention to. So at the end of this level, we have the Triceratops fight. Now this guy takes a lot of ammo to actually kill, so you're going to want to save as much ammo as you can for this fight. Just to give you an idea, I have mostly full ammo for my power weapons, and on my normal strats, if I want to kill him, I'm going to be using most of it, so I'll just show that real quick. I'll just show how much it actually takes to kill this guy. And then I'll go into details about specifics on how to actually do this fight. So just a quick demonstration. So it takes pretty much all of my ammo, so full shotgun and then most of my gas grenade. So that just gives you an idea of how much ammo you're going to need to have for this fight. There is one ammo cache that you can pick up along the way during the level. Which you can pick up. It's not that far out of the way, so I would recommend picking that up. But again, just to give you an idea of how much ammo you're going to want to need. Full shotgun, and then most of your gas grenade. And then with that in mind, you can decide what strats you want to use throughout the level. So anyways, let's get into it. So to start out with, we're going to get out our machine gun, and we're going to jump past this vent. Now you can time your jump over the vent to where you don't take any damage, but you do need to watch out for those running soldiers. Now it's important to know with these running soldiers, if you time your jump over the vent and you don't take to where you don't take any damage, then the running soldiers are easy to take care of. As you can see, you can just stand behind the vent, shoot them as they come by, and just time your jump like that. But if you want to go fast and don't slow down, then you can still make it. First of all, you will take a little bit of damage from the vent, but it's also important to note that if you're not going to slow down, you want to do a small jump over the vents. Because if you do a big jump, then your stream of bullets might go over the heads of the running soldiers, and they might run into you. So I'll try to demonstrate that. So you don't want to do a big jump like this, because as you can see, the stream of bullets started above their heads, and they can get pretty close to you. So if you're not going to slow down, if you're just going to go straight for it, do a small jump. Whoops. So you want to do a small jump like this. Now, on hard mode, you do still run a risk of those soldiers running into you, even if you do a small jump. On normal mode, you won't run into that risk. They'll always be killed. But on hard mode, they do still get pretty close to you, so that is something to be aware of. So right here is actually going to be where the ammo cache is, inside this door. I would recommend getting your shotgun, just so you can use your shotgun throughout the level, for starters. Now when you go through the door, we're going to go to the right, but be aware that there is going to be a raptor coming in. So you want to jump over that guy, pick up the ammo, and then you can run back. I don't believe he will spawn back in. So as soon as you jump over him, he'll despawn, as long as you time your jump right. And then you can just walk back. So he's pretty easy to deal with. So yeah, pick up some shotgun ammo with that one. And then you can use a bit of extra shotgun ammo along the way. But anyways, continuing on. If you're not gonna pick up that shotgun ammo, you're gonna be wanting to use your machine gun for the most part throughout this level. So starting here, This flamer is pretty tricky to kill just because we have this grenadier right behind him. So you can stand back and just kind of jump over the grenade as it's flying in. Because otherwise it's kind of hard to duck down like this. Otherwise the grenade's just going to hit you. And of course, if you have your extra shotgun ammo, you could do something like this and afford to spend some shotgun ammo. But if you're going to want to go fast, what you can do is you can use your machine gun shotgun combo, which looks something like this, where you'll just start shooting your machine gun, and then as you're approaching, switch to your shotgun and finish off the flamer. You will be taking a bit of damage when you do this. That's unavoidable pretty much, because you have to do a really small jump over that fire. If you do a large jump, then you will be hit by the grenade. So if you're going to do this fast strat, just hold down your machine gun for a little bit, and then switch over to the shotgun once you see him, but then do a small jump, so you can avoid taking most damage, and then avoid hitting the grenade. So, look like this. Just a small jump to get over most of the fire, but underneath the grenade. That's a pretty tricky flamer to get by, but of course you can always just take it slow like this. So, in regards to the bombs, we're supposed to pick up these bombs, just like that, but it turns out you actually don't need to pick up any of them throughout the level. So, to save time, we're just going to be skipping every single one of them. You can finish the level without picking up a single one. Moving forward, again, if you're trying to save most of your ammo, most of your shotgun, you are going to want to use your machine gun. So let's continue on. I like to take the top route because trying to dodge these small volcano rocks is kind of tricky. So shoot the guy up top, jump over these, shoot that guy, and you can just walk straight through. Again, we're going to avoid picking up this bomb because we don't need to. Let me do that room one more time, just to give a good demonstration on how it's done. So you can just walk straight through. Don't even worry about the bazooka, don't worry about the bomb, and continue on. So right here, once I enter this room, I will immediately look up so I can shoot this rock out of the air before it hits me like that. So just do that. Shoot these guys. Now here is the last little bit of this last item we can pick up in this room. If we go to the left, we can pick up this health kit if you need it. But yeah, that's a pretty simple one to get if you need the health. But otherwise, we shall continue. Now this flamer right here is another pretty tough flamer to get by, just because there's this vent that we have to be standing on in order to kill him, because we can't stand back and just like duck down, or else you will be taking damage from the vents. So you could do something like this, just time your jumps like this and kill him that way, because otherwise you really can't avoid taking damage while being able to kill them. So you could do something like this, just time your jumps and continue on. Or what you can do, and this is what I do in my runs, and this strat's actually not too difficult to do, but we're actually not going to kill this guy. We're actually just going to jump inside of him and then jump away. So it'll look like this. So we can jump inside of him, and if you want to wait for the flame to pass by, his flame cycle to end, you can do that. Or you can just jump straight through. Hesitate for just a little bit while you're inside him, so you can avoid taking most of the damage from the fire, and continue on. And that's a good way to get through by mostly not stopping. And again, I do pause just for a little bit once I land inside of him. Because otherwise, if I were to just hold straight forward the entire time, then I would be in the fire for a lot longer. As you can see, that time, I took a lot more damage. But if you hesitate just for a little bit, is all you need. Once you're inside of him, then you'll be able to avoid taking most damage. As you can see, that time it was much safer. Alright, continuing on, we are going to turn to the left this time. Now here is another flamer where you can just stand back. This is an easy one. Just stand back, kill him like this. Or, if you want to go fast, again, if you have the extra shotgun ammo, you can just kill him like this. No worries in that regard. But if you skip the ammo, we are going to use our machine gun shotgun combo again. And again, all it is just hold down your machine gun for a little bit. And once you see him, then you will switch to your shotgun and then jump over the fire. So it looks like this. Just like that. Actually... yeah, so... if you approach these vents without slowing down, then they'll be on a good pattern, a good cycle, to where it's the first and third one going at the same time, and the second one alternating patterns. So, as you can see, they're in a bad pattern right now, where you can't just jump across pretty easily without taking damage. But if you approach that, if you approach those vents pretty fast like this, then as you can see, you can just jump straight through without taking damage. Now that'll only happen if you can get past this flamer without slowing down. So you want to make sure you don't load in these vents while you're killing this flamer. So if you do the fast strat where you do your machine gun shotgun combo, then they will be on a good cycle as long as you don't slow down. But if you decide to take it slow and just stand back, you probably want to stand directly in front of this fire and kill him that way. And then you don't want to slow down. As you can see, they're on a good pattern now. And then there's one more thing to note about this part. In regards to that bazooka, man. So if you mistime your jumps and you end up falling down in between these vents, like right here, then the bazooka guy is going to spawn in a little bit earlier, and you will need to jump over the bazooka faster than normal. And I'll try to demonstrate that, what I mean by that. So I'm going to not fall down. You can see I can approach him pretty close, and that's when he'll shoot his bazooka. He'll shoot his bazooka a lot later if you have clean movement. But if I mess up my movements, then he'll be shooting a lot sooner. So, oh, I messed up. So he shot sooner. So basically, you just want to be aware of this bazooka. At the end of the day, you can always just duck down and time your shots, or time your movement from there. But yeah, if you're clean with your movement, then you can time your jumps pretty easily like that. So if I messed up right here, there we go, that was a good example. He shot a lot earlier. But that's just something to be aware of. If you're clean with your movement, you can approach him pretty close before he shoots. But if you mess up your movements on those vents, then you might want to duck down underneath these bazookas just so you can time your jumps and your movement better. Alright, so here it is one last time. Here's the clean movement. And there you go. Okay, for demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna kill this guy. Not with my shotgun though, because we need that. Okay. So, this part coming up, we have this soldier right here and this bazooka coming in. So you can easily just jump over these guys and enter the room. That's what I do anyways. Just jump over these vents. I'll kill that guy and just jump through. That's very easy to do. But there is a strat we can do that I don't do in full game runs. This is a very risky strat, and it only saves about 1/3 of a second maybe. But what we can do is, if you don't jump on this third one, you can slip inside this door just as the bazooka is coming through. You can just barely slip past that bazooka. Now when you do this, you will take damage from this third vent right here, because what we need to do is we need to kill this soldier, and then as the bazooka guy is walking in, as we're shooting him with our machine gun, we'll be slowing him down just enough to where we can slip inside. So you don't want to jump on the third one just so you can get your machine gun barrage hitting him the entire time. Because if you don't hit him with the machine gun, then you're not going to make it. So yeah, I didn't even come close that time. So to do this strat, don't jump over the third one, and then you want to time your up press very precisely. This is a very difficult strat, and I would not recommend doing this, but because this is the tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate everything. And yeah, it's a really tough strat, so there you go. So yeah, don't go over that. But anyways, let's continue now. Alright, so we are going to go into the third door. Alright, so this room is pretty interesting. So we have a few things we can do here. So this rain of fire, we can do a little bit of a spawning manipulation with this fire. But the easy strat to get through this is to just stand back, shoot the flamer like that, and then time your jump across. And then you can continue on. That's the easy strat to get through this room. There's really nothing to that aside from just stand back and then continue on. Very easy. Now another thing we can do is we can do a damage boost off of the rain of fire. And when we do that, we will avoid taking damage from the flamer himself. So we'll take damage from the rain of fire, but we'll avoid the damage from the flamer. So all you do is just run to the right, jump into the rain of fire, and then continue on. And you'll avoid the flamer damage. Again, this is again a very easy strat. There's nothing to it, just jump into the fire and continue on. Now obviously you will be losing a little bit of health, so that's something to be aware of. But other than that, it's a very easy strat. Now, the more difficult strat, and this strat is actually kind of tricky to do, but we can delay the spawn of this rain of fire, and we'll be able to jump underneath it before it spawns in. And to do that, as soon as we enter the room, we're actually going to be starting to go to the left for, I believe the timing window is between 4 frames and 12 frames. Somewhere around there. So just hold left as soon as you come in, and then 4 frames later, then you can start running to the right. I'll demonstrate what that looks like and how quick it is, but I'm holding to the left, and then I start running to the right. And then that will delay the spawn of the rain of fire. The timing window isn't super strict, but you don't want to make sure you instantly start running to the right. You want to kind of react to it to when you spawn in. It takes a little bit of practice to get the hang of, but here it is again. So that's good. And then you'll be able to jump underneath it. Now, when you do that, though, you are going to be shooting the flamer with your machine gun, and then shooting diagonally down, so you can actually kill him. Because again, we're not going to be doing a damage boost, we're not going to have any invincibility frames, so we do want to kill this flamer to avoid taking the majority of damage. So I'll show what it looks like. So here we go. I'm entering the room, and I'm going to be holding to the left for 4 frames, and then I can continue on. So this is what it looks like. Hold your machine gun, shoot diagonally down as you're jumping, and then you can continue on. Now, one more thing to note about this jump. You don't want to do a full jump, or else you will hit the rain of fire. Because you are still going to be cutting it really close, even with the delayed spawn. So you want to be doing about a 75% jump. And when you're doing that, one more thing to note is that you will cut the jump itself very close. Because this jump already is pretty tight, even if you do a full jump. So you want to jump as late as possible while only doing about a 75% jump to avoid the rain of fire. So here it is again. I'm just going to demonstrate it one more time. Just like that. And you can continue on. That's a pretty tricky strat to get the hang of. But again, the easy strat is just do this and continue on. Don't get hit by the running soldier. And then the slightly faster strat is to do the damage boost, just jump into the rain of fire and continue on. But again, you will take some damage. And then the fast strat, one more time, is to just hold left for 4 frames, but no more than 12 frames. And then kill the flamer, jump over with a 75% jump. And here it is. Just like that. So let's continue on now. Alright, so entering this room, again, we're going to have this rock that's going to be falling onto us. So when I enter this room, again, I'll be holding up and to the right, and then jump over the compies as they're running underneath you. So like that. And then this next part, you might be pretty low on health at this point, so avoiding these vents might be necessary. Now, when you approach these vents, you want to do a really small jump. So you can jump over the one directly in front of you, but then to where you don't end up with your head inside the one up top. So do a really small jump to avoid taking most damage. And then what you also want to do is you want to be shooting upwards to where you can kill that compy that's on the top platform, or else he might hit you. So do something like this, just a small jump while you're shooting upwards to avoid taking most damage. It's pretty hard to avoid taking damage entirely. You might still end up taking just a little bit. But yeah, do something like that. Or if you want to, you can get up top and just do that. That's another strat you can do. But the fast strat, just look up, do a small jump over, and continue on. Now this part, what I do is I'll get out my gas grenade, and then as I'm approaching this, right before I touch the mini volcano, I will shoot my gas grenade so I can kill that raptor really quickly and I can enter the next room. Otherwise, you could do something like this and kill him like that. Or you can just hold your machine gun down, kill him like that. Or again, you can just shoot at the last second and jump over. You do want to shoot at the last second though, because he spawns in pretty late. If you shoot earlier, then you might end up missing him. So anyways, alright, so now we are entering the Triceratops fight. So as I mentioned before, this guy requires a lot of ammo to kill. So I'm going to be using all of my shotgun ammo. I have 18. And then the majority of my gas grenade. And with this ammo count, I'll end up with 8 gas grenade remaining. So that's just to give you an idea of how much you need. So the easy strat to do is, again, if you have enough ammo, just kind of stand back, just shoot him, just keep your distance like this. When he starts charging you, he'll only charge for a certain distance before he starts retreating. Just continue shooting him. And as you can see, I ended up with 8 gas grenade, and he is dead. So again, that's most of my ammo. And then you can continue on. So that's the easy strat. Just kind of stay back, keep your distance, and continue to shoot him. Now hopefully, again, you'll have enough ammo to where, you know, you don't run out of ammo. But if you need to finish him off with your tranquilizer, then that might be kind of bad. Hopefully you'll have put in enough damage to where the tranquilizer will be able to finish him off. Because the tranquilizer is actually kind of weak against the Triceratops, but you might need to finish him off with your tranquilizer, depending on how much ammo you have. But if you did pick up the extra ammo at the start of the mission, then that shouldn't be a problem. You should have enough ammo to finish him off with your shotgun and your gas grenade. So yeah, that's the easy strat. Just keep your distance. Once he starts charging, again, he will retreat just automatically after a certain amount of distance he's ran. And just finish him off like this. And continue on. So that's the easy strat. There are a few more strats we can do. So a little mechanic about his retreating. He will retreat. He'll retreat faster the more aggressive you are. It's all about the damage per second that you put into him. So if you dump a ton of ammo into him as fast as you can, then he will just be constantly retreating. He won't actually charge at you. So we can abuse that mechanic where you can stand up against an enemy and just unload your shotgun as fast as you can. So, and another thing you can do is you can do this double shot. Once you pass this fire, you'll get out your gas grenade, and you'll be able to shoot your shotgun immediately after shooting your gas grenade. So it'll be gas grenade, switch over, and then immediately shoot your shotgun. So that's what it looks like. As you can see, my gas grenade comes out first, and then your shotgun second. Again, that's just a weird mechanic. I don't really understand why that works, but you can do 2 quick shots just like that. And that's what we're going to do when we first approach after this lone fire that's in front of us. Once we pass that, then we'll do that double shot. So it looks like that. I immediately put in 2 shots into him. So that just kind of primes this fight, in a sense. So again, we're going to be super aggressive with our shots. So again, we're just going to shoot as fast as we can. Do the double shot. Actually, don't do that. That's another strat. But you can just stand back as he's coming by, and then again, just keep really close to him as you're shooting him. And as you can see, he's for the most part going backwards the entire time without really charging me. And the faster you put in damage, the less likely he'll be to charge you. So again, you want to be very aggressive. especially with your shotgun, be very close to him. And then it is important, once you're using your gas grenade, you do want to back up just a little bit, because otherwise you'll be in the gas grenade explosion and you'll be taking damage. But something to be aware of, once you're using your gas grenade and you've made a little bit of distance between you two, then you will be having less damage per second put into the Triceratops, which means he might be more likely to start charging you. So that's just something to be aware of. So here it is again, just be super aggressive with your shotgun, be as close as you can, and then your gas grenade, just keep your distance just a little bit so you can avoid taking damage from the fire, and then just finish him off. Here it is again, start with your gas grenade so you can do the quick double shot. Get up super close with him with your shotgun, and then stand back just a little bit to finish him off with your shotgun, or a gas grenade. And then you can continue on. Now there is one more strat we can do. And this strat will actually save the Triceratops. We're not actually going to kill him. Now to do this, we are going to take an intentional hit. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to run into him like this, and then we're going to unload as much ammo as we can into him so he, again, just constantly moves backwards. And to do that, all you need to do is we're going to do pretty much the exact same thing as before. So as we're approaching, we're going to do our double shot, and then we're going to unload our shotgun ammo as fast as we can, and then finish him off with the gas grenade. But we're not actually going to finish him off because we'll be able to enter the door before he actually dies. So here's what it looks like. So take the intentional damage, and then just keep unloading on him. And as you can see, you can slip through before he actually dies. A few things to note about this strat. First and foremost, you'll notice he did a little charge at the start. So right here, he'll do a charge. And that's because I didn't put in enough shotgun ammo into him on that first initial charge. So here's the count. So if I end up putting 2 bullets into him at this point, then he'll do that extra charge. So I'll need to stand back just a little bit more. So if I put in 2 bullets into him right here, I only have 16. I'll need to stand back just a little bit so I can keep my distance. And I can finish him off like that. But if I'm able to spam my shotgun fast enough and I get off a 3rd shot, then I won't need to stand back a little bit further, and I can just get up right next to him and he'll instantly start retreating. But you have to be able to shoot 3 shotgun shells in this first initial encounter. And so this is pretty hard, but if I do it correctly, I will be able to just instantly get up next to him as soon as I stand up. So here's what it looks like. Okay, so I've got 3 off. Now I can just instantly get up right next to him. And continue on. Now one more thing to note about this strat is, you may have noticed at the very end of that, I switch over to my gas grenade. I'll save just a few shotgun shells for the very, very end. And the reason behind that is, if I just use my gas grenade the entire time, again, like I mentioned before, we'll be further away from him. So it might be more likely he'll be charging me. So I'll start shooting him with my shotgun, and then I'll start shooting him around this point with my gas grenade. And again, that just saves a bit of ammo with my shotgun for the very end. So I can just push him back. So I can push him back real fast with my shotgun for the very end. Now again, if I just finished him off with my shotgun, so I'll do that. I'll just keep out my shotgun the entire time. Oops. So I'll keep out my shotgun the entire time. But in doing that, I'm ending the final part with my gas grenade. And I'm going to be in the fire at the very end of that. And depending on how much health you have, that can be very risky. Because you don't want to be in the fire at that point. But finishing off that strat with the shotgun avoids that entirely. You won't be in the fire at all, because there is no fire. So I'll do that strat one more time. So switch to my gas grenade about right here. Switch over to my shotgun. Oops. And then switch over to the shotgun so you're not in the fire. So shotgun now. There's no fire, so I can just get right into the door. So anyways, that's how to save the Triceratops. That is a pretty tough strat to do, by the way. So here are the other strats, again, the easier strats. So the easy strat is just keep your distance. Once he starts charging you, then just run backwards. And then your gas grenade. And then continue on. That's the easiest strat. The next strat up is to be aggressive, and again, we're still going to kill him. But this first initial encounter, we are going to stop right after the fire. And then again, be very aggressive, get right up against him. Once you get out your gas grenade, just step back just a little bit so you're not into the fire. And then you can kill him. And then the super aggressive strat is to do the intentional damage boost, shotgun him, switch over to the gas grenade, and then finish it off with the shotgun so you can make it through. So that's the Triceratops strat. And then we're at the end of the level. You can jump through, and that's the end. If you have really low health, then you might want to just time your ducks like this, and then you can continue on. But yeah, that's the end. Oh, that's the end of this level. That's a pretty in-depth level. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of different things you can do, and it's certainly a major choke point in the run. It's very easy to die, and it's a pretty tough level in the speed run. So yeah, that is the bombs mission. We are almost at the end of the game. In the next part, we will be looking at the T-Rex fight and the helicopter fight, and we will be finishing off the game. So I will see you then.